You want to watch this video if you are currently capped out personal trainer, experience, been in the industry for at least 5 years, and you want to understand probably the biggest mistake that I see personal trainers making when they decide that they want to take their business online. And it is called getting stuck in the middle. It's going to cause you months and probably years of, in the end, just swapping being locked in a gym to being padlocked to one of these things, which includes checking in, doing program design after the kids and the partner's gone to bed. And this is something that I've seen for the last decade as I've coached this. Now, what do I mean by stuck in the middle, and where does it come from? So this video is going to be about 15 minutes. I learned about this, and it's a guy called Michael Porter. I think it was at university. I'm not going to give you the boring part of all of that, but basically he was a strategy guy, and he talked about the idea of, do I compete on what he actually called low cost, but we could say low cost, low price. Okay, they're not synonyms exactly, but he talked about low cost and quality, prestige. So his examples are often things like, I guess Toyota, Ford, that kind of thing, and like Aston Martin. Or if you're in the UK, you would probably see it as like your Marks and Spencers or your Lidl. In fact, interestingly enough, it used to be Tesco's that were the cheapest, and then the problem happened when someone come along and undercut them and took a massive chunk of their market share. But like, how would that even sort of go into me being a personal trainer and deciding that I want to, I don't know, make the same amount of money that I make from my in-person but online? How do I need to think about this? I would say that most of the reasons why that I'm given when I ask personal trainers like why they got into the industry, it wasn't usually I just wanted to make a load of money. Now, I don't actually have a problem with that. And I think more so these days that people come in to be online coaches, they see the let's make 10K online, 10, 15K online. When I first qualified, that wasn't a thing. I didn't even hear the sort of make 10K a month for, I don't know, 5 years. I got into the industry, yes, because I wanted to have an impact on people, but that was often driven by what fitness did for me. I just loved it. I was really interested in it as well. And then obviously I was like, I can make money doing this. I'm going to go and become a personal trainer. And then as I was doing it with clients, I was just really wanted to learn and have this impact on people. And a lot of people say that to me. They're like, yeah, that's why I got in the industry first, to have more impact. The reason I titled this is to decide the impact that you want to have. The outcome that if you do get this wrong, and what I mean by wrong is that you try and provide the service of Aston Martin at the price of a Ford. Now, that's not hard to have people come and take your product. If I have an Aston Martin showroom and I'm selling Aston Martins at 30 grand, I'm not going to have a problem selling. In fact, I'm going to sell as many as I want. What I'm going to do is lose money, by the way. It's not exactly the same in the fitness industry, but if I just want to sell personal training as cheap as possible and in a gym in central London, I would probably be more popular than the guys in the gym that are charging what they're worth. I don't know, £80 an hour. And I go into a nice gym in Mayfair and I start charging 20 quid. Like, I'm probably going to have more demand than supply. And what I'm going to end up doing is probably working more hours than everyone else because people want to give me their money as opposed to the personal trainer that charges 80. And I think that's what happens with personal trainers when they go online. They go online often uncertain and unconfident that you can charge at least what you charge for personal training, and if not more, but still with this desire to help people. And what they end up doing is helping too much. Now, if you're charging 3 grand for 12 weeks, can you afford to give your clients individual attention where, you know what, you are there a little bit more often? Yes. Because how many clients do you need to have if on average you're getting £1 grand a month from each client and you're already doing stuff in the gym? I don't know, you could sit there and go, Tim, you know what, I'd be more than happy with like 5 of those. fantastic. You've got the scope, the energy, the headspace to be able to serve those clients at a very high level. That's like the sort of the Waitrose. If you're in England, Waitrose, a very nice supermarket. I don't even really call it supermarket. Yeah, you would call it a supermarket. Whereas the other end of the scale is the stack 'em high. You don't get anyone that's actually giving you customer service. You have to do it all yourself. You have to pull it down from the big shelves and all that, right? So it's not hard to be able to serve clients at that level. But let's say that I get into online, and because I'm just not fully confident on how to sell or getting in front of the right people, I decide, you know what, I'm going to charge $200 a month. Because that seems like it's a little bit more about what the market rate is or whatever it is. I've had someone the other day that said they looked at people around them and these guys were quite good, had a good reputation in the gym locally, so they just copied their pricing. But yet when I asked them what they deliver to the clients, I was like, I would be very surprised if these other guys deliver what you're delivering. He was doing a call a week and then unlimited updates, etc. And I was like, I don't think those other people are doing what you're doing. In fact, I think what they're going to be doing at that price point is much, much, much more generic. And that's almost that stuck in the middle. You serve your clients to a level that your natural inclination plus, in brackets, uncertainty about this new way of offering fitness leads you to, but you've charged them what is not that much money. It could be like, well, Tim, $200 seems like a lot. Well, it depends. And I would decide, what type of impact do I want to have? What's driving me at the beginning? Do I want to have a program where I have lots and lots and lots of clients? Because, and again, if I just use round numbers, I don't know, let's say that you're earning 5 grand in the gym and you want to just add another 5K in from your online, right? So you just want to add the same thing. And I charge 100 quid, $100, shouldn't swap currencies. I charge $100 a month. I need to have 50 clients running. Some people think that that's about right for online. Okay, so you're going to have 50 clients. You're in the gym still. If you're earning 5 grand, you're probably going to be working a reasonable amount of hours, not loads, but you're going to be working a reasonable amount. Where the hell are you going to serve those clients? Unless they are getting automations and cookie cutter, which is really the place where in Porter's model, he talks you're competing, your competitive advantage, I think it's called, is low cost, low price, in other words, because it's low cost in your time and low price. And you can definitely do that. If you run 50 clients through and they just get the same as everyone gets, the same as everyone else, and then once a month they get it updated. The challenge with that now, though, which is the biggest mother of all F-ups, is you're working on cost. AI will do what you're going to do with adjusting their training programs, probably as well as we can now, and it will do it for nothing or very small amounts of money. There's big companies that will be doing this for like £10 a month. So you are now in a big problem, a big bind. The real problem is when you're charging $100 a month or $200 a month and you're giving these 50 or 25 clients, depending on those numbers, you're giving them what is in essence unlimited updates on their program, check-ins, emails, unlimited access to you, a Loom check-in, maybe even a call, maybe calls if they're not. And I've heard from so many personal trainers that go online initially, they've swapped one prison for another one that actually feels worse, because at least when you're in the gym and your client walks up those stairs out of the gym and it's a Friday and you're done, you're done. You have to think about it again until the Monday. So you wake up Monday morning and have coffee and get to the gym. But when you're online, especially with that level of clients, like these people are up at like 11 o'clock at night doing program updates. And in the end, getting paid peanuts. So start with, what kind of impact do I want to have? Am I happier with lots and lots and lots and lots of clients, and you know what, they're going to get relatively cookie cutter stuff, and it is what it is, and I'm just going to go really wide. My coach Glenn used to talk about going wide or deep. Or do I want to have a real impact with these clients? Like, did I get in this industry just to stack people up and give them generic stuff? Or did I get in this industry because I liked the personal side of personal training, of actually having some scope to be able to support my clients? Look, I'm biased. Clearly, I'm biased. I'm very biased towards, I guess, two sides of the same coin. One side of the same coin is I'm biased towards behavior change coaching. But behavior change coaching is, in essence, an individualized process that you take someone through. It's not a cookie cutter thing. It's an individualized process that you take someone through because you look at why their behaviors are like they are, and then you put the strategies in place with the client to be able to change those habits and behaviors and identities. It, in essence, is a personal thing that you help someone with. So you need to be able to actually give them a reasonable amount or the right amount of interaction with you each week. Over a 12-week period, you probably bank, say, I don't know, 45 minutes on average per week per client. So what do I think is the right price? I'm the other side of the coin is high ticket. Not high ticket for just the sake of being high ticket and just charging a lot. High ticket because it's the value that you're providing. You are providing about an online behavior change coaching program gets better results than personal training does. And it blew my mind when I first realized that, actually, when I was doing it a decade ago. So I'm like, well, I should be charging the same amount as if someone came to see me twice a week in the gym, and probably more, and I did in the end. So I like an eventual price point of anywhere between sort of 2,000 and 3,000, 2,500. I don't think is a piss take. I don't think it's like giving them something that's not valuable. It is valuable. But what it allows you to do is, okay, let's just say, let's lowball it. Let's say you're just going to get to a place where you're charging 2,000. How many clients do you need to have at that sort of price to be able to, you do the maths, if however much you're earning from the gym, right? And maybe you bring that down a little bit because you get rid of some of the clients that are just clients that just do your head in. Maybe you up your prices a little bit because you can. This kind of stuff I do with my clients is like, we can put your prices up a bit, but we can get rid of some of the people that you just don't enjoy working with. We just make it much, much more efficient, bit of a better sales process, etc. The gap between that and what your income goal is. Lots of people want to do six figures. Is there a way that I think a lot of people are doing it now where it's a bit from in person, a bit from online? Yes, let's say so. 8.6 grand, 8,600 a month, or maybe it's 10k. Maybe it's less. Maybe it's like 7.5. Who knows? But you can start to see what needs to come from the online, and then work backwards from that. If I want to earn an extra 4 grand a month from in my business, how many clients would I actually need to take on for the online where I make that income goal? And you'll probably find that it's fits on it certainly fits on two hands, no doubt. In fact, it probably fits on. Now it could be like, well, I want to have, I want to be one of those trainers that's got 100 clients. I'm like, but they're not doing that much that's individual. They definitely, if you're looking at that sort of numbers, this is probably a full-time gig for them. They might have like a team as well to do other stuff with them, which is fine. It's a great place to be, but it might not be where you are right now with your business. So it's like, well, okay. So the question comes back to, what do I want to do? What type of an impact do I want to have with these clients? It will stop you getting stuck in the middle. It will stop you going into the online space with this like need or desire built from a lack of confidence, as I said sometimes, but also from a place of, I want to serve people. I want to give them what I think that they need, or all of this. I want to give them as much as I can. And you just give them too much, but they're not paying it. They're not paying for it. And that is a terrible place to be. Burnout, overwhelm, stress, detachment from, family, kids, working late nights while the Mr. or Mrs. goes to bed. All of these things will happen, and you'll just be like, you know what? Just give me the gym again. At least I can close off from it. Or just accept that if I'm going to do the sort of 197 kind of thing, you know what? My clients aren't going to get the most amazing option. That's okay. I'm going to give them less interaction, less customization, much more cookie cutter, much more generic stuff. Or, and by the way, I am biased, but I actually don't think that's terrible as long as you're going into it eyes wide open to that is what this is. Or you decide, I want to have real deep impact with these clients. I want to actually help them have a transformation. I want to actually help them change their habits, their identity, their behavior, so they can lose weight, and not only lose weight, actually give them the mechanisms and the ways of thinking to keep it off. Do not get stuck in the middle, right? Decide right at the beginning. Do I want to go low cost, low price? Or do I want to compete? Do I want to compete on low cost, low price? Or do I want to compete on premium? Make that decision based on your values and why you came into the fitness industry and why you want to expand your business first before you start just putting this cobbling of the two together, which you will do. And you will end up in a very, very horrible place. Padlock to one of these. Hopefully that's helpful. Guys, I will see you on the next video.